Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Chinaza Onya is the founder and chairman of Nasmin Group. Please, a round of applause as she comes on stage. Please, a round of applause for her.
There's no better person for this topic than her. Right from when she was in school. Like, I've never seen anybody that is so dripping and know what they want in their life, like Naza. Oh, well, I call her Naza. Forget the body, na big billionaire. All right, let's go straight to it. She's talking about the power of branding today. We're going to run real fast because we're almost rounding up.
Yeah.
What do you understand? I know it, but I want to hear from you better. What do you understand by the term branding?
So I would say branding is identity.
Oh,
Branding is identity. So now, how you interpret that identity is your own definition of branding. I always tell people this because a lot of time we go on social media and we hear a lot of people tell us what their identity of branding is. And when you try to key into what their identity is, you end up making mistake in your own definition of identity. Of course, you can see a thing. There is a general concept of a thing. There's a general way of doing a thing. But it boils down to how you take that concept and you template it to yourself and your business. So to me, branding is identity.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Why is branding so important? Why is branding important?
It is extremely important because it just, I always equate it to how we need water, how we need essential things in life. Is that serious? Now, is that serious for content creators, businesses, or whoever wants to create an identity for themselves? For an instance, if you reach out to me, I'm going to use the person that talked about having a record label because, of course, you know, we started with entertainers when we started and all that. So I've dealt with a lot of people. I worked with Fino for 3 years on Fino Fest. It was an amazing concert. I've worked with Flavor Live in concert and all that. So I understand music point from that perspective. Now, the thing is that most times when you see an artist come to you, record labels come to you, oh, please, Jasmine, manage me or do this for us. This is what we want to do. And you sit down with them and have conversation, you see that they have not created an identity for themselves. But what they want is the identity of the famous person. And they want to key into that identity. And then they come to the meeting with the identity. So you keep hearing like, oh, I've gone to this place and these people are not treating me well. But if I'm Fino, if I'm this, would they do that to me? I'm the next person coming up. And then you hear stuff like that, that people are not really seeing the potentials they have in them. And then they keep them dropping artists. So after the conversation of 20, 30 minutes, you see artists that are telling you things that they want, but what I could pick up from them is the name dropping of a famous artist, and I didn't hear how they want to identify themselves. And these are the errors we make even in ourselves, in our business. I sat over there, and that's why I was able to ask questions. All the beautiful people that spoke, and what I could merge everything on is that people that lose the focus, they lose it because they've not identified what they want.
Ooh, Naza, let me come in. Remember when I was going to leave Enugu, when I finished my university and I wanted to leave? Do you know what you told me? I never forget it. You said, Chidima, don't go. Let's do Jasmine Media together. She was saying, let's build a business together. And I don't know what I was going to do in Lagos. But I told her, you are already built. I want to start my own. I want to find myself. And that helped me too. I'm still finding myself, but I think I've gotten small identity, Abby.
No, you've gotten a huge one. Now, have we ever seen a situation whereby someone that is doing a reasonable amount of good in their life, and then in the middle they disappear? We don't see them anymore. Yeah. Now there's this urge, and it's very intense right now. It's like the atmosphere, it's like the energy around. We want to so much get there so quick. We want the urge to get there. But do you know the unfortunate thing is that because we do not take time to go through the challenges, identify ourselves and all that, we rush. Of God is so merciful, we get the little success we want, but we don't keep it. We don't keep it because this is the age where a lot of things are chipping into people's career, people's aim and goal, and we go through depression.
Okay, let's move on. What are some of the benefits of branding or of building a strong brand?
When you build a strong brand, no one can tell you anything negative that will remove you from the route of where you are going to. When you know who you are and what you want. A client, and for instance, cannot come and you build the person and say, this is how much I want to pay, and they tell you are not worth it. Of course, you're going to say, okay, no problem, goodbye, have a nice day. But when you don't know that you've built your brand and the brand you have, you start doubting even yourself. And you start reducing yourself and the quality of what you want to do. So branding is extremely important. I always tell people, that's the first thing you must do. I went off social media for 1 year during the loss of my mom, and during that 1 year, one of the foremost things on my mind was that how my business is going to survive. People call me and I tell them, sorry, I can't work. A lot of people reach out, where are you? Where have you gone? We can't see you. But how was I able to sustain myself within that 1 year? How was I able to still get people to call me, do this, and I send them to my staff and all that? Because I had already created an identity that people were still looking for, even when I wasn't on the space where I was always needed.
Yeah.
For 1 year. You can't leave social media for 1 year
and still not survive.
It's not possible. But I created that. And then branding also is, you need to create it off social media. I always tell people, if I can't find you, if Instagram shuts down, if Twitter shuts down, and you are no longer that person, you do not have a brand.
You have not built a brand. Hey! Okay.
You haven't built a brand. Your brand should be able to exist in first your locality. It doesn't matter where you are. Are you in Imo State, Ebonyi State, Enugu State, wherever it is? You don't necessarily have to be Lagos, because of course a lot of us see Lagos as the main hub. Wherever you are, if the social media or that place where you're an influencer, you're a content creator, you're a business person, you are popular, you're well known, if that place disappears and you leave and you come outside to the real world, and we cannot establish and give you, your brand cannot feed you, your brand cannot still give you what your social media gave you, you need to start from the scratch.
Last question, my darling. What are some of the challenges when building a brand? I know you go, don't forget, I don't say.
No, but it's fine. I still build some other people's brand. So the first challenges is being honest with yourself. The truth is that most of us, because we want to run through the quick process, and also being honest is actually very challenging. It's one of the extremely challenging, because it's at the point where you sit yourself down. And some of us, to be very honest, we don't want to have conversation with ourselves. We prefer to have conversation with our friends. Do you know why? Yourself will tell you the truth to yourself. And that's why most of us end up building ourselves to lie to ourselves. Yeah. So being truthful is when you sit yourself and say, what I want to do is something that will fetch me money. Yeah, because that's the key thing we want to go into. And then the second thing is that I need to put in work to get that. But then we know that the truth is that we don't have the time to put in work. We work quick money. Now, honestly, what your plan is telling you that you need to sit down and build it, but then you don't have the time because you want a quick one. And that's where we move from that thing we know we need to build time to get. We go to the easiest one that will channel us to that part. So we've already lied to ourselves because we did not go to the challenge of finding the truth. Now, the second aspect of the challenge of building a brand is the point where the brand is telling you that it's going to take 10 years. Right? It's going to take 10 years and you need to go under a study. None of us want to go under a study. How many of us volunteer? How many of us go for internship? How many of us go and say, you know what? I want to be a person that builds a brand. I want to... who's this chef that made wave recently? Hilda. And it was unfortunate that a lot of people started using that to chase clout. They want to do this and all that. But did you go through behind the scene and find out how many years this lady tried to make it and it didn't work? So most of us, because we are so quick, we want to get to the 10 years, we want a 10 years plan to be a 10 months or 10 days plan. We do not want to go through building. Now, I have a lot of people come to the office, they say they want to learn. And then in 2 months, they go out and you see on Instagram, they're following you with CEO of this. They rush to want to do that. No. There are some challenges and some mistakes you have to make under a mentorship that will help to build you to have your own brand. Because if you rush and do not go through that process and you build that brand, you go into making yourself a disgraceful item that end up destroying the brand that could have spoken for you. And people need to trust your brand.
Thank you, my love. Any question? All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is very, me myself, I'm actually learning a lot. So, but I want to ask, is it okay for people to allow other people see themselves through? Do you understand? See themselves through other.
Through another person's eyes.
Yes, allow people see you and help so that they can help you better. Because the reason why I'm saying this is that a lot of people want to be everything. They want to be the artist. They want to be the advisor. They want to be the owner. They want to be everything. So sometimes, and that's okay. Use this record label guy as example. Yeah. So record label is very music business demands a lot of faith, branding, and everything. You can't bring me trash and expect me to attend to you. Do you understand? Sometimes people will actually show you more love if you command something. If you like for example, when you come with me with a good branding, I don't need to get money from you. I can tell you, please, I want to identify with this brand, and I will render that service for you for free because I want to identify with this brand. So I just want you to just shed some light. That is it okay to allow other people see you from and help you create brand. Help you brand. I don't know how to put this, but I know where I'm going to with the question. Yeah.
Most people can't come into a vision they do not understand, especially when you also do not understand it. So there are stages to this life. The foundational stage is to you understand what you want. And at that point is when you decide if you want 2 people, 3 people, or if you want to go alone on that first journey. Because there are some key things that you need to do alone first. We all know that there's some key fundamental things that you have to first of all be the one to go through that process and decide if this is where you want to be. Because the truth is that a lot of people that go into the music industry or entertainment industry do not have any business being there. All you need is 2 sensible human beings. Sensible because it's very crucial, because that industry doesn't have a lot of sensible people. So 2 crucial sensible people that understand, 1, the vision of you, that is the principle, and that you can listen to. Because I've seen the mistake where most artists don't even listen to their managers. You got an artist, I faced that with one of the major artists, or I will tell you the person's name, that we all know, and we had an 8 o'clock meeting at Dream FM. And this person was supposed to come out, and I've already given you the timeline. This artist didn't show up till 10 a.m. Do you think the person have gone through the personal principle building, individual building that says you need to build yourself to keep your words and be at the place you need to be? Because I cannot fix a meeting with a reputable radio station and I need you to be there at certain time. You come in walking in looking like you've not taken your bath, dragging your knicker and whatever, looking so high and telling me, oh, Jasmine, you can do it now. You know those people, tell them to fix a 10 o'clock appointment for me.
You're killing your brand.
So these are the things that you need to work. So if you have 2-man team that you listen to, that you know if point man A tells you, boy, we need to be here by this time for this reason, you do not know, you don't need a big grammar on it. You wake up, stand up and go because you trust the team that you set up to tell you to be where you ought to be.
All
Last
right.
question.
question.
Hey, the question not the plenty.
Okay.
Okay. Hi,
Hi.
Jasmine. So my own question is kind of like, let's say, foundational.
Okay.
So when choosing to build a brand, right? And a lot of people have been talking about music. I'm going to look at it from like personal brand. I'm going to look at it from like business brand. How do you choose what path to take, right? And I think this is where a lot of people, usually struggle.
Okay, so the key word is target audience. So the first time I started, I didn't start my company first. I started my personal brand first. I knew that I needed to decide who I want my content to be and what I want to benefit in 3 years running that. So I knew that I wouldn't want to get a certain kind of brand to reach me and say, do this thing for me. I want the big guys. I want the multinational. In order to do that, what are the multinationals looking for? They are looking for someone their brand is already reputable, that stands in a certain way. So that means that the things I'm putting up on social media needs to be the way that the target audience I'm looking in terms of the brand ought to be. Now, it also means that the people that will give me the engagement, wherever, both online and offline, ought to be also the standard quality people that were willing to receive what I'm giving out. So meaning that for me to build this community of both the brand that will work with me, the audience that will feed off my content, means I need to build myself according to that alignment. Now, the personal brand is that I said, okay, I want target audience of people that when I put in a sensible comment, they will not come under the thing to be saying word, on God and things like that. I want them to actually have a conversation with me, because it means that if tomorrow MTN or Guinness sends me a product and asks me to amplify it for them, I can be able to create a content where my audience can have a conversation that these brands can be able to say, you know what, these people are sensible. So at the end of the day, it's about you deciding, do I want to put out a content where everybody in the world can just come in and laugh about it, go to Instablog, drop out shades and do that, and we move. That's like 10 seconds or 10 minutes of navigation. Or do I want something that will stand the test of time, that even 2 weeks later, brands are still reaching out to me to say, what you said in your podcast was able to reach out to us, we want to do business with you.
Thank you.
Choose what you want.
I love you.